be me. 32-year-old male, living the dream, or so I thought. Left a soul-crushing corporate IT job 3 years ago. Decided to turn a woodworking hobby into a full-time career. Cashed out 401k, sold the condo, went all in, rented a 2,000 square foot industrial bay in a gritty part of town. Spent months renovating the space, installing dust collection, buying heavy machinery, specialized in high-end live-edge walnut tables and custom cabinetry. And business was slow at first, eating ramen and sleeping on a cot in the office, slowly built a reputation for obsessive quality and perfectionism. 2 years in, I'm finally profitable, booked out 6 months in advance. Clients are tech bros, interior designers, and rich suburban moms. Life is good, dust in my lungs and money in the bank. Enter the antagonist of this saga. Let's call him Tyler. Tyler is the landlord's son. Landlord is a decent old guy, retired to Florida, left the property management to Tyler. Tyler is 28, drives a leased G-Wagon, wears fake designer watches, has entrepreneur in his bio but has never worked a real day in his life. Tyler decides he wants to modernize the industrial park, starts harassing tenants about aesthetic cohesion and brand synergy, raises the rent on the mechanic next door until he moves out. Tyler takes over the empty bay next to mine, decides to launch his own luxury lifestyle brand. Specifically, he wants to make epoxy river tables. The kind you see on Instagram, cheap wood drowning in blue plastic. Comes over to my shop one day while I'm hand planing a $4,000 slab. Hey bro, cool setup, we should collab. Tells me he bought a CNC machine and is going to put me out of business. Laugh it off and tell him good luck. Weeks pass, constant noise from next door. Tyler doesn't know how to run machines. Breaks bits, screams at his employees, blasts EDM music at max volume. Dust from his shop starts leaking into mine because he didn't install filters. Ask him politely to fix his ventilation. Bro, stop being a Karen, it's just sawdust. Explain that my finishing room needs to be sterile for lacquer coats. He rolls his eyes and tells me to chill. Relationship deteriorates rapidly. He starts parking his G-Wagon in front of my loading dock. Blocks my lumber deliveries. Have to call the towing company twice. He screams at me in the parking lot, threatening to evict me, check my lease. I have 3 years left on a fixed rate. He can't touch me. Tell him to read the contract and get out of my face. Things go quiet for a month. Think maybe he learned his lesson. Land the biggest commission of my career. Boutique hotel downtown needs a centerpiece conference table. 16-foot single slab of Claros walnut. Rare wood cost me $12,000 just for the raw material. Client wants a mirror finish gloss polish. High risk, high reward. Total project value is $45,000. Spend 4 weeks prepping the slab, flattening, sanding, stabilizing cracks with boadies. It is a masterpiece of nature. Finally ready for the finishing stage. Move it into the clean room. Apply the first coat of conversion varnish. Needs to cure for 24 hours between coats. Friday afternoon, lock up the shop. Feeling nervous but excited. This job pays off my equipment loans. Double-check the locks. Check the alarm system. Drive home to relax for the weekend. Saturday passes without incident. Sunday morning, get a notification on my phone. Humidity sensor in the shop is reading 99%. That's impossible. Assume the sensor is glitching. Check the camera feed. Cameras are offline. Stomach drops. Rush to the car, speeding all the way to the shop. Pull up to the building. Water is seeping out from under my bay door. Panic sets in. Unlock the door and get hit with a wall of heat and dampness. It's raining inside my shop. The fire suppression system is active. Sprinklers are blasting thousands of gallons of water. But there is no fire. Run to the shutoff valve and crank it closed. Silence returns, replaced by the sound of dripping water. Look around at the devastation. 3 inches of water on the floor. My cast iron table saws are already rusting. Hand tools soaked. But the real horror is in the finishing room. Wade through the water to the clean room. Open the door. The 16-foot walnut slab is ruined. The water reacted with the wet varnish. The wood is swelled and cupped. A giant crack has opened down the center of the slab. $12,000 of wood and weeks of labor destroyed. Sit on a wet stool and put my head in my hands. This is bankruptcy. This is the end. Stand up and start looking for the cause. Fire marshal arrives 10 minutes later. System didn't malfunction. Someone triggered it manually. Pull station by the back door was activated. Police arrived to take a report. No sign of forced entry on the front doors. Back door is locked but has pry marks. Looks like a break-in. Officer asks if I have enemies. Immediately mention Tyler next door. Police go to talk to him. His shop is closed. Nobody there. Call the old landlord in Florida. He's horrified. Says Tyler has keys to all the units for maintenance emergencies. A light bulb goes off. Tyler didn't need to break in. He staged the pry marks. But the cameras were offline. How did he cut the power to the cameras but not the lights? Realize my internet router is in the shared utility closet. Tyler has access to that closet. He unplugged the modem. Explain this to the cops. They nod, taking notes, but say it's circumstantial. Need proof he was the one who pulled the lever. Spend the next 2 days creating an inventory of loss. Machinery damage, $30,000. Material damage, $25,000. Lost revenue, $45,000. Building damage, $15,000. Total disaster. Insurance adjuster comes out. Shakes his head. This is vandalism and malicious mischief. Policy covers it, but investigation will take time. Tuesday morning, I'm cleaning up the sludge. Tyler pulls up in his G-Wagon, gets out looking smug. Whoa, bro, heard you had a little flood. That sucks, man. Water damage is the worst. He's smiling. He's actually enjoying this. Fighting the urge to hit him with a pry bar. Keep my cool. Yeah, complete loss. Probably going out of business. Tyler nods, fake sympathy. Hey, if you need to offload that space, I can take over your lease. Could use the extra storage from my resin. There it is. The motive. He wanted my bay to expand his operation. Tell him I'll think about it. Watch him walk away whistling. Go back inside and call a guy I know. Old buddy from the IT days who does security systems. Ask him to come over. We look at the router in the utility closet. Buddy laughs. What's funny? The router logs everything even when internet is down. It has an internal system log of when the Ethernet cable was unplugged. And there's a security camera in the hallway outside the closet, controlled by the building management, which is Tyler. But the server for that camera is in the basement locked room. Call the old landlord again. Beg him for access to the basement server room. Tell him I suspect his son destroyed his building. Landlord is hesitant but agrees to give me the code. He doesn't want his insurance to spike either. Go to the basement with my IT buddy. Jack into the NVR system. Pull the footage from Sunday morning, 2 a.m. Tyler walks into frame wearing a hoodie. Unlocks the utility closet. 2:01 a.m. My router logs show disconnect. Tyler walks to my back service door. Uses a key to enter. 2:05 a.m. Tyler exits my back door. Runs down the hall. 2:06 a.m. Fire alarm strobes start flashing in the hallway. He triggered the system and ran. We have him cold. Download the footage to 3 different hard drives. Upload a copy to the cloud. Call the detective handling the case. I have video evidence of the suspect entering and triggering the alarm. Detective asks me to bring it in immediately. Drive to the station. Hand over the USB drive. Detective watches it. Raises eyebrows. This is felony burglary, arson, by legal definition of destroying property, and criminal mischief. Damages exceed $100,000 including building damage. This is serious prison time. Detective gets a warrant signed by a judge that afternoon. Ask if I can watch the arrest. Detective says no, stay away for your safety. Go back to the shop and wait. 2 hours later, 3 squad cars pull up next door. Tyler is outside smoking a vape. Cops warm him. He tries to run back inside his shop. Tackled on the pavement. Screaming, "Do you know who my father is?" Cuffs go on. Put in the back of the cruiser. But it gets better. Police enter his shop to ensure nobody else is there. Door is left open. Detective walks out holding a mask. Not a COVID mask. A respirator. He calls in more units. Turns out Tyler wasn't just making river tables. He was using the solvent chemicals to process something else. Synthesizing drugs in the back room. Modernizing the industrial park was a front. The solvents he claimed were for epoxy were precursors. Hazmat team arrives. DEA gets involved. My water damage investigation turned into a drug bust. Tyler is looking at 10 to 15 years. News trucks arrive. Local entrepreneur arrested in drug lab bust. Call the old landlord. He sounds broken. Apologizes profusely. Says he will cover all my damages out of pocket to avoid me suing the family estate. Offer is full replacement cost, plus lost revenue, plus pain and suffering. Agree to settle civilly if the check clears immediately. It does. $150,000 wire transfer hits my account. Plus the insurance payout for the machinery. I'm sitting on a pile of cash. But the shop is a wreck. Can't work there anymore. Bad juju. Spend the next month cleaning out the salvageable tools. Move to a new location in a better district. Bought a building this time. No more landlords. Reached out to the hotel client. Explained the situation. They were horrified but willing to wait. Sourced an even better slab of walnut. Worked 16-hour days to make the deadline. Delivered the table 1 week late. They were blown away. It was flawless. Client gave me a $5,000 bonus for the trouble. 6 months later, subpoenaed to testify at Tyler's trial. He looks terrible. Lost weight, shaved head, wearing orange. His lawyer tries to argue he was just checking on a leak. Play the video. Show the timeline. Unplugging the internet proves premeditation. Jury doesn't buy his story for a second. Guilty on all counts. Burglary, felony vandalism, drug manufacturing. Judge sentences him to 12 years. His luxury brand assets are seized and auctioned. Go to the auction out of spite. Buy his CNC machine for pennies on the dollar. It was barely used. Set it up in my new shop. Every time I run a program on it, I smile. Business is booming now. Hired 2 apprentices. My name is known across the state for custom work. Sometimes I drive by the old industrial park. My old bay is still empty. Tyler's bay is still taped off with police tape. The landlord sold the building to a conglomerate. Everything changed because one spoiled brat wanted my space. Learned a valuable lesson. Security cameras are worth their weight in gold. And never trust a guy who wears sunglasses indoors. The best revenge is living well and making a net profit of $200,000 off your enemy's stupidity. The table I built sits in that hotel lobby. People have meetings around it. Deals are signed on it. They have no idea it was born from a flood and a drug bust. Life is weird, but wood is good. Back to work. Sanding a maple slab today. The dust smells like victory. Phone rings. It's Tyler's mom. Haven't heard from her since the trial. She's crying. Says Tyler is having a hard time in prison. Asking if I would write a letter supporting his appeal. Says he's learned his lesson. He's just a boy who made a mistake. A 28-year-old boy who destroyed my livelihood and cooked meth. Silence on the line. Tell her I'm sorry for her pain. But Tyler is exactly where he belongs. Hang up. Block the number. Go back to the sander. Turn it on. The noise drowns out the guilt. Not that I had much guilt to begin with. The grain on this maple is incredible. Going to look great with a natural oil finish. Check the humidity sensor. 45%. Perfect. Check the cameras. Online and recording. All is right in the world. Sometimes the bad guys lose. And sometimes the good guys get a free CNC machine. End of story.